leaving Johannesburg behind, I fly to the village of Skukuza, the headquarters of the Kruger National Park, where the airport is located. We were met by Robin, who will drive us to our lodge. Kruger is one of the largest wildlife sanctuaries in Africa, with some of the densest animal population. Today, I will be staying in one of the lodges found inside the Sabi Sands Game Reserve. This is the Lion Sands River Lodge, a peaceful, luxurious retreat in the middle of the wild.
Wow, how lucky can I be to have such a nice room in the middle of the bush. Nice looking, locally designed room. All the comfort is here. And a nice view of the Sabi River.
Making use of local materials, the rooms offer a delightfully bright space with a touch of modern sophistication. It has all the creature comforts that guarantee a pleasant stay.
And very complete bar. I even have wild animals outside my porch.
The Sabi River flows just outside the bungalows, attracting a lot of wildlife to come into view. This seamless blending between the wilderness outside and the comforts inside the lodge continues throughout the property. I think these lines are blurred, even for the animals who frequently pop in. I got to sit down and chat with the general manager of the lodge, Jopi Van Ruyen.
How did Lion Sands start? I heard there's so much history in this place.
So there's a lot of history dating back to 1933 when Guy Aubrey Chalkley, who's our current CEO's great-grandfather, purchased the piece of land. In 1948 it was incorporated into the Sabi Sands, and then our first commercial lodge was opened in the 1970s.
Since then, under the leadership of the Moore brothers, the lodges have undergone a series of renovations and improvements to become the multi-awarded 5-star property that it is today.
Why did you call it Lion Sands?
In those days, we had an absolutely incredible pride of about 22 lions that used to roam these areas. That was very special. I remember my first time when I arrived at Lion Sands for my interview initially. As I drove in, these 22 lions were lying next to the road, and you just couldn't believe the size that they take up. So it was absolutely awesome.
And how many rooms do you have now?
At River Lodge, we've got 18 rooms, and at Ivory Lodge, we've got 10 rooms, which includes our Fish Eagle Villa, which is our top-end, fully exclusive villa, which comes with your private chef, private game drive, and your butler in your villa.
But what Lion Sands prides itself in is its excellent service, attuned to the needs of every guest.
So I would say the first thing that we're proud of is our staff. The staff are all invested in making sure that a guest stay is absolutely seamless and that every guest walks away with only the best memories of South Africa.
Of course, the main attraction for staying in a place like Lion Sands is doing the game drives.
I would love to be a guide. I think it's a fantastic job.
It comes with a lot of knowledge. I couldn't imagine anything more fun than spending at least 6 hours of your day every day out looking for the animals.
That afternoon, I met up with Mike, who will be accompanying me on our game drives for the rest of our stay. He introduces me to Patrick, who will be our tracker. We leave the comforts of the lodge behind and venture into the bush.
Patrick's our tracker. He's basically my partner, and what we're going to do is we're going to work together to try and find you guys some animals.
Despite the area's massive size, Mike and Pat were able to point out and share some very interesting facts about the abundant wildlife.
Crazy cool things about giraffes. They have a very big heart, which is around the size of a football, of a soccer ball. And when it brings its head down to drink, for example, or to pick up a bone or a rock or something it wants to chew, all that blood pressure suddenly, instead of going against gravity, suddenly goes with gravity. And so they have a couple of adaptations for that to stop them getting, to slow it down so they don't have a stroke when they drink. Yeah.
It was great to have a knowledgeable guide who can help you appreciate the things you see.
So you get used to the terrain and everything, and is it easy for you now? Much easier as you do it more often?
Over time, as you get more and more experience with the animals, you're more familiar with what to look for, even in a quick view. But most of the time it is down to luck anyway, that your eyes happen to glance in that exact place that the animal's walking. But
Out from the bushes comes a young elephant eager to feed on the woody shrubs.
so elephants are pretty much human beings. The brain of an elephant is extremely similar to the brain of a human in many, many ways. You know, their problem-solving ability, their emotional scale, their communication levels.
As we prepared to leave him to his meal, we chanced upon the rest of the herd, along with some Cape buffaloes. That's two of the big five right in this spot. The Cape buffalo is the largest of the African bovine species. They can be unpredictable and are known to be one of the most dangerous animals here. They are ferocious enough to even kill lions. We continued to proceed, but one of the elephant herd's females did not seem keen on letting us pass through. Mike tries to sweet-talk his way, but she wouldn't budge. If she chooses to charge, this Land Rover can be flattened tin.
When they're coming at you, no movement, as silent as humanly possible, just so that they can decide what to do. It's the one animal that can flip the car, so...
Mike continues to work his charms.
Hello, darling. Sorry to ask you. I know, I'm sorry, but I just want to go past you.
Until she finally gives in.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. They're really great. They understand these things. They really are like people.
Finally, we can relax a bit as we approach a spot where Mike promised some sundowners.
Well, let's just have a break.
Well,
We're gonna play some snacks.
out of nowhere, in the middle of the bush, we have this.
Yeah, it's roughing it out here, to be honest, as you can see.
This is too rough for me. This is too rough.
It was an amazing spread with a panoramic view of the river. I savored my wine as I watched nature put on an incredible show. As we kicked back and let the day wind down, we suddenly see something at the edge of the water. It was a leopard coming down for a drink. We scrambled out of our seats to get back on the truck. The day isn't done after all. It isn't very often that a leopard walks into your field of view, and we wanted to follow and observe it up close.
And it was just right there drinking the pond over there. Is this a male or a female, Mike?
This is a female leopard.
Female?
You can tell it because of the size of her head and the fact she's got a very slender neck. And also her body size. She's relatively small.
She was stealthy and graceful and can disappear into her surroundings at will. She can then pounce on her unsuspecting prey.
Wow, magnificent looking animal, huh?
Yeah, it's fantastic, eh? She's hunting at the moment.
Is she hunting?
Yeah, she's looking for something.
Oh.
We started losing daylight, and as we followed her closely, we can tell that she seems uneasy. Apparently, there were two hyenas tailing her too. She decides to disappear into a tree.
She's on top of the tree, getting worried about this hyena waiting for her. Two of them. And this is how life is in the jungle, huh?
Generally what they're doing is they're following her so that if she kills, they're right there and then they can take it from her, you know? She doesn't want that.
Trying to shake them off, she stays put on her perch. Sensing that they are waiting in vain, the hyenas scurried off. Finally, she can come down to hunt in peace in the cover of the night. In the dark, we navigated our way back to our lodge. I hope no wild animals jump out and make dinner of us. Up next, we get deeper into the safari action as we get more wildlife encounters while learning about the unique ecosystem of the Kruger National Park.